This question is from the topic vibrations. A tappet valve mechanism in an IC engine comprises of a rocker arm ABC. Okay, rocker arm ABC is given to us. Is hinged at B as shown in figure. The rocker arm is assumed to be rigid and it oscillates about the hinge B. The mass moment of inertia of rocker arm is about B. It is I of the rod. I of the rod is equal to 10 power minus 4 kg meter square. The rocker dimensions A is equal to 3.5 centimeter, B equal to 2.5 centimeter. The push rod pushes the rocker at location A. So this is going to be like a spring. This is going to execute like a spring action. Okay, when moved vertically by a cam, okay, rotates at n rpm. The push rod is assumed massless. Push rod is massless, and stiffness of the rod, yes, this is identical to the spring. Stiffness of this rod here, it is K equal to 15 Newton per mm. At the other end, C, the rocker pushes a valve against the spring of stiffness 10 Newton per mm, 10 Newton per mm, which is equal to 10 kilonewton per meter. This is also 15 kilonewton per meter. And the valve is assumed to be massless and rigid. The resonance of the rocker arm occurs when the camshaft runs at a speed of dash rpm. So basically we are required to find out the natural frequency. For this case. Right. So what we can do is first we need to draw the free body diagram for this. So this is the rod given. This is the rod. And it is hinged at B. This is the hinge. And A is equal to 3.5 centimeter. This is 3.5 centimeters. This is A. This is B. And next is, there is a spring here. So let us say that the rod is rotating in, it is getting the rotating in clockwise, or it is displaced at this position. By an angle theta. So this height will be equal to A sine theta or A theta also, because sine theta is so small that theta equal to, because sine theta is so small that is sine theta equal to theta. And this will be B sine theta. Or B theta also we can write. We can write this as B theta also. Right, and this spring, the rod here will experience the tension if it is rotated in clockwise sense. So this spring will experience tension. Okay, the spring will experience tension. So this will be the spring force. Let us write this as Fs1, and this spring will experience compression. Okay, so the compressive force will be towards the rod. This, let us say this force to be as Fs2, right? And this is in the clockwise direction by theta. So pseudo torque or inertial torque, that is I theta double dot, will be acting in the anti-clockwise sense. Right, so here taking the moments about point B. So moments about B, if I take and write, first will be I theta double dot plus Fs1 into A. About this B, it is going in clockwise sense, anti-clockwise sense, and Fs2 is also going in anti-clockwise sense. So plus Fs2 into B is equal to 0. into B is equal to 0. Right, so this I can write it as Fs1 is nothing but here I theta double dot plus this is K1 into A theta into A plus this is K2 into B theta into B is equal to 0, is equal to 0. So here I can write it as theta double dot is equal to K A square plus K times of K2 times of B square divided by I into theta is equal to 0, into theta is equal to 0. Right, so here I need to substitute all the values. So this is of the general form theta double dot plus omega n square times of theta equal to 0. So omega n, that is omega n equal to root over omega n is equal to that is k1 a square plus k2 b square divided by I raised to the power of half. So k1 is 15. This is 1. This is 2. So K1 is 15,000 Newton meter and K2 is 10,000. So this is 15,000 into A is how much? It is 3.5 centimeters. A is 3.5 centimeters and that is 3.5 into 10 power minus 2. 3.5 into 10 power minus 2 whole square plus, okay, close this bracket. Next 10,000 into 2.5 into 10 power minus 2 whole square divided by I is 10 power minus 4. I is 10 power minus 4. So this is equal to raised to the power of 0.5. So omega n here it will be equal to, omega n will be equal to 496.223 radians per second. 496.23 radians per second. So n will be equal to, that is 496.23 into 60 divided by 2 pi, which is equal to approximately 4,739 rpm. 4,739 rpm. That is option B. That is option B. This is the end of the question. This question belongs to the topic vibrations from the subtopic damped vibrations. Consider a single degree freedom comprising of mass m supported on the spring and dashpot as shown in figure. If the amplitude of free vibration reduces from 8, if the amplitude of vibration reduces from 8 m to 1.8 mm to 1.5, I think it is not 8 meters, 8 mm it is 8 mm because 8 meters to 1.5 meters, 1.5 mm means it is very large reduction. So 8 mm to 1.5 mm in 3 cycles, then the damping ratio is equal to how much? Then the damping ratio zeta, that is equal to how much? So here the damping ratio we can write it as, that is given by the formula logarithmic decrement delta is equal to 1 by n times of log of x0 by xn equal to 2 pi zeta by 1 minus zeta square, 1 minus zeta square. Right, so this I can write it as, it is getting reduced in 3 cycles where n is number of cycles, 1 by 3 times of x naught is 3 divided by 1.5 equal to 2 pi zeta by 1 minus zeta square, 1 minus zeta square. So this you need to solve for zeta from here. We need to solve for zeta from here. So upon solving for zeta, we'll get zeta equal to 0.089, 0.089, okay, which is the damping factor. This is the end of the question. This question is from the topic vibrations. Consider the system shown in figure. A rope goes over the pulley. Mass M is hanging from the rope. A spring of stiffness K is attached at the one end of the rope. Assume rope is inextensible, massless, and there is no slip between the pulley and rope. The pulley radius is R and mass moment of inertia is J. Assume that the mass is vibrating harmonically about its static equilibrium position. Natural frequency of the system is dash. So here Let me just draw the free body diagram of the pulley. So if the pulley is rotating in clockwise sense, I theta double dot will be in anti-clockwise sense. Next is, due to the rotation of the pulley, this spring is going to experience tension. So the tensile force, let us write this as Fs. Okay, Fs. And there is a bucket which is going to move down. There is a bucket which is going to move down. Okay, but the pseudo force experienced by the bucket will be upwards. That is mx double dot. So x is equal to here r theta. X is equal to r theta. So x double dot is equal to r theta double dot. R theta double dot. And spring here the stiffness, here the stretching of spring will be nothing but Fs is equal to K into X or K into R times of theta. K into R times of theta. Now taking the moments about O, if I take this, then it will be I theta double dot plus Fs into R plus mx double dot into R is equal to 0. So here polar moment of inertia, that is given by j theta double dot plus Fs is nothing but kr square theta plus m into r theta double dot into R is equal to 0. So this is of the form theta double dot times of j plus mr square theta double dot plus kr square theta equal to 0. So theta double dot plus kr square by j plus mr square theta. So here omega n will be equal to root over kr square by j plus mr square, which is option A. This is the end of the question. This question is from the topic vibrations, from the subtopic forced vibrations. A machine of mass 100 kg is subjected to an external harmonic force with a frequency of 40 radians per second. So mass of the machine is 100 kgs. Mass of the machine is 100 kgs. And omega is equal to 40 radians per second. The designer decides to mount the machine on an isolator to reduce the force transmitted to the foundation. So this is from the transmissibility and isolation. The isolator can be considered as a combination of spring and stiffness and damper in parallel. The designer has the following 4 isolators. Arrange the isolators in the ascending order of the force transmitted to the foundation. So here we have 4 isolators. For these 4 isolators, what is the transmissibility ratio here? What is the transmissibility ratio we are required to calculate? So omega here, for situation 1, omega here will be equal to root over K by M. So for situation 1, the stiffness is 640 divided by mass is 100. Okay, so which is equal to 640 kilonewton. Okay, this is 640 kilonewton per meter it is. So 640 into 10 power 3 we have to write. This is equal to 80 radians per second, omega n, and omega is equal to 40. So R is equal to omega by omega n, that is equal to 40 by 80, that is equal to 0.5. 0.5, R is 0.5. And next is zeta I am required to calculate. Zeta I am required to calculate. That is zeta is damping ratio. Damping ratio that is equal to C by 2 root mk. C here it is given as, or zeta is directly given to us. Okay, no need to write here, no need to consider C value. Zeta is directly given to us. That is zeta is equal to 0.7. So transmissibility ratio, that is Ft by F, that is equal to root over 1 plus 2 times of zeta into r whole square divided by 1 minus r square whole square plus 2 times of zeta r whole square raised to the power of 0.5 or under root. That is Ft by F, or that is transmissibility ratio epsilon. So for this, if you substitute zeta is equal to 0.7 and r is equal to 0.5, upon substituting zeta equal to 0.7 and r equal to 0.5, so this will be equal to 1.189, right? Then in second combination, then in second case, zeta is reduced by 0.07. Zeta is 0.07. Okay. In case 2, zeta is 0.07 and r is equal to 0.5. Stiffness is not changed. R is equal to 0.5. So for this case, that is epsilon is equal to 1 plus 2 into zeta. Zeta is 0.07 into r is 0.5 whole square raised to the power of 0.5 divided by 1 minus 0.5 square whole square plus 2 into zeta is 0.07 into 0.5 whole square raised to the power of 0.5. So for number 2, it will be equal to 1.32. So it will be increased from 1.18 to 1.32. Similarly, case 3, zeta is equal to, for case 3, zeta is equal to 0.7 and omega n, that is, we are modifying the frequency, that is stiffness is K by M, that is 22,500. 22,500 divided by 100, that is equal to 15. That is equal to 15 radians per second. So R is equal to omega by omega n. That is omega by omega n. Excitation frequency is 40 by 115. That is equal to 2.67. So with these values, omega r equal to 2.67 and zeta equal to 0.7. So epsilon is equal to 1 plus 2 into 0.7 into 2.67 whole square raised to the power of 0.5 divided by 1 minus 2.67 whole square plus 2 into 0.7 into 2.67 whole square raised to the power of 0.5 or under root. So this is equal to, for number 3, the transmissibility is equal to 0.54. It is equal to 0.54 for the combination of zeta equal to 0.7 and r is equal to 2.67. R is equal to 2.67. Similarly, we can try for bit number 4, that is zeta is equal to 0.07. Zeta is equal to 0.07 and omega r is equal to 2.67. R is equal to 2.67. The stiffness is not changing. So for this, it will be 1 plus 2 times of 0.07 into 2.67 whole square raised to the power of half divided by 1 minus 2.67 whole square plus 2 into 0.07 into 2.67 whole square raised to the power of 0.5. This is equal to 0.17. So they are asking to arrange in the ascending order. So fourth isolator, the isolator number 4 will be having the least transmissibility ratio. Okay. And next is the second least is the number 3. And the third least is number 1. Okay. And 4312. 4312 is the combination. 4312, that is option D. This is the end of the question.